start controversy. She thereby applauded the move made by the elders and their continued support for the government. For Grts News, I am Ajami Sise.
Gambians from different backgrounds have been weighing in on the recent execution of 9 death row convicts. In an outing that took him to certain areas in the metropolis, including the capital city, Famara Fofana sounded the views of scores of locals and reports. Whilst many see the death penalty as a constitutional provision that can deter crime, they also appeal to the head of state to spare the remaining death row inmates.
Days after the Gambia government announced the execution by firing squad of 9 death row convicts, we took to the streets to gauge the opinion of the public on the matter.
If anybody killed, that party must be also killed. That's what I'm saying.
While there were few who claimed not to be in tune with recent developments surrounding the executions, there was no shortage of people who articulated their thoughts. Benjamin Gomez is a prospective law student at the UTG.
To kill a human being, I think the best way you can be killed, according to our constitution, is for you to be killed too. Yeah, we're going to realize that, we've just seen that recently people are just killing willingly without finding accurate reason of killing, you see. But let's say if I kill a friend, not deliberately, let's say maybe it's accidentally driving and I didn't notice the friend and I kill him, I don't think it's worthy for me to be killed. Yeah, but I'm also convinced that what the judge has judged and said these people are killed is beyond any reasonable doubt that they have killed because they want to kill. If your own family is killed, let's say my own brother has been killed by somebody, I think the only way I can be satisfied is for the individual to be killed too.
In the Gambia here, it's a good sample. If somebody did something bad, if you kill somebody deliberately, you should be killed.
Anyway, it's a good idea because killing now is rampant in the Gambia. So they have to do it live so that people will know, those killing will stop it.
People like Yahya Sidibe would not dwell on the issue because, in his words, his knowledge on the executions is just too limited. There are many others, however, who said the executions are constitutionally sanctioned, although that was the viewpoint of Mam Demba. His appeal to the president and that of this young lady is forgiveness for the remaining convicts on death row. I believe anyone found wanting of a crime can be pardoned, and in this light, I would like to appeal to the head of state to consider doing that. Alhaji Daudanjai, a friend to the Mariamakunda resident who was killed a few years ago, was joined by several people who said the death penalty will only serve as a deterrent to any form of crime that could threaten the peace and tranquility in the country. They too called for mercy on the part of President Jammeh. Famara Fofana, Grts.
18 American Peace Corps volunteers are now ready to support the Ministry of Education's efforts to ensure effective teaching and learning. The volunteers went through a 2-week intensive village-based pre-service training that exposed them to the Gambia's rich culture and other requirements. Louis Mendy reports.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge my duties in the Peace Corps. So help me God.
So help me God. 18 new Peace Corps volunteers recently took oaths of allegiance before the head of American diplomatic mission in the Gambia, a sign of renewed passion and commitment to thrive on the ideology of the late great John F. Kennedy, the founder of the Peace Corps. The volunteers have completed 2 weeks of intensive village-based pre-service orientation on the rich Gambian culture and how to communicate in local languages for excellent service delivery, and are expected to work with the Ministry of Basic Education to promote effective teaching and learning.
You will be the mirror through which your host communities will contemplate and appreciate the American people. You will also be the mirror through which the American people contemplate and appreciate the Gambian people. You're truly ambassadors of peace and friendship. Your job won't be easy, but you've demonstrated in your training that you're up to the task. I am impatient to hear some of you speak to us of Wolof, Mandinka, Pular, and Sarahole.
The Gambia is one of those developing countries enjoying the services of the Peace Corps volunteers. For over 4.5 decades today, Peace Corps volunteers have contributed in the country's education, health, and agricultural sectors. The new volunteers, having taken their oaths, are ready to endure similar challenges with renewed resilience, loyalty, and commitment.
For the next 2 years, you're going to be the catalyst of positive change, strengthening the capacity of Gambian teachers to facilitate and improve learning for the Gambian youth. This role will require a lot of skills and patience on your part. Language skills, cultural adaptation, technical skills, and the ability to stay healthy, safe, and positive.
Education is the surest investment for national development. The news that the 18 volunteers would work with Ministry of Education towards ensuring the realization of quality education for all Gambians brought personal joy to Professor Mamadou Ka, the Vice Chancellor of the University of the Gambia.
You've also come to serve on one of the most important sectors of our country, which is education. I had the opportunity, as a matter of fact, to meet some of you in the early training of the intervention that we are making as a country to improve the teaching of mathematics and physics so that those teachers can go back to the classrooms and change their delivery method, improve their content knowledge, and make the learning of mathematics and science fun for the majority of the youths of this country.
As volunteers await deployment to various communities, most of them in the provinces, they look motivated by John F. Kennedy's once powerful phrase that never before has man had such a great capacity to control his own environment, to end hunger, poverty, disease, and to banish illiteracy. These words today represent the spirit of the Peace Corps in promoting world peace and friendship. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
Or you can monitor GRTS Radio live on our website, and that's on www.grts.gm. Time now to take our first break. We'll be right back.
Wato sital e ban kultural me de ke no mun register e ngo kada mun di way ta si fujin ma fo be kultural kare kabini 15 of June ye mo lo kultuba mun da hande ngo ya jele inyongol let ne wato kafu wari on the 15th of September wala last register dong
ndefana register tal ko
ndefana register tale Maringol, woto momo waytela sim card register kati on the 15th of September wolon deadline ti kafurti de momo mela sim card register e be network to e be la line o kuntulale he yar fa bol nyam oto mbadu nga bori e na line o register.
Welcome back to GRTS News. Barely 6 months after his election as president of Ivory Coast, Alassane Ouattara is being accused of engaging in a campaign meant to flush out members of the opposition FDI from the political scene. The accusations follow the sentencing of Laurent Akun, the secretary of the former ruling party under Laurent Gbagbo, to 6 months in jail. The opposition leader was found guilty of disturbing public order. Details in this report.
6 months of prison for Laurent Akun, the Secretary General of the Ivorian Popular Front. The judges handed down the sentence on Friday. Akun is charged with disturbing the public order. For weeks now, the former ruling party of Laurent Gbagbo has been the victim of systematic repression. The Ivorian Popular Front is convinced that President Ouattara is doing everything he can to crush his political rivals. The so-called Democrat does not want an opposition. This is why FPI leaders, journalists and intellectuals are being harassed. This is why democratic rights are being confiscated through the repression of FPI rallies. While the FPI accuses the Ouattara camp of deteriorating the political climate, it also seems to want to renew dialogue. We must frankly decide that something positive should come out of these discussions so that Côte d'Ivoire can move forward. And we're ready. We're launching a call. President Alassane Ouattara's RDR party, meanwhile, is saying the FPI has always refused to talk,